Feeling overwhelmed, overweight, or out of sync with your health and body? Overtime Fitness Toledo. Need motivation and direction with your goals? Overtime Fitness Toledo. Here at Overtime Fitness, we strive to provide a warm, inviting, judgment-free, family-oriented atmosphere, offering customized and nutrition workout training. Because you are worth it. Give us a call and book your session today. 419-708-0005. Overtime Fitness Toledo. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Smooth with Tim. They have you running like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silvy in the house. Award-winning show, but the #1 spot. Look out. It's the Queen Silvy Show. 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 Look out.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Silvy Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Silvy.
Hey, good morning and welcome, or good afternoon, or good evening in different parts of the world. This is Smooth Tim, and thank you for joining us on another terrific Tuesday, possibly Wednesday in some countries, with the Queen Silvy Show. It is now my pleasure to introduce this beautiful woman beside me. She is the world's funniest comedian and the world's sexiest granny, Queen Silvy.
Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. Yes, I am Queen Silvy of the multiple award-winning The Queen Silvy Show. Thank you for joining us on this terrific Tuesday. Smooth, how are you today?
I'm doing terrific on this Tuesday, Queen, and exactly how are you doing?
As always, I am supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, I
Yes,
suppose, is 24/7, 365. Queen Silvy, might I say,
I
you are just
know.
simply
Amazing. I
Yes,
know.
you are.
It is what it is. Queen Silvy is amazing. But you are amazing, Smooth, as well as our amazing lineup of guests and announcements that we have today, don't we?
You know what? We have on today's show, out of Little Rock, Arkansas, she is a writer. She does much more than that. You're going to find that out. Dexter.
I like that
Absolutely,
name.
You're going to like this. And also, let's see, you know what else makes terrific Tuesdays is some of the announcements that we need to shout out.
Okay.
And that would be that our hearts and our prayers go out to, everybody all over the world. This is affecting us financially and emotionally in a whole lot of different ways. But I'm glad to see, the kids are getting back to school. Things are starting to maybe get back to normal. We'll see what's happening.
Okay.
Who knows?
Faith over fear first.
Amen. Also, if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see some scrolling text. Make sure that you join our Friends Club, Queen Silvy, at comedy.com, and or the Queen Silvy Show. Mm-hmm. You can get us a bunch of different ways and join our Friends Club. And you may ask us why.
Because I said so.
And not only that, because we like to give stuff away. So
Yes,
monthly, we will have a little drawing, and somebody gets a free gift.
We love
We're
paying
going to
it
get some
forward.
testimonials on the free gifts. We've given away some slick stuff.
Yeah, some great stuff.
But anyhow, on with the show, we say. You're looking for some really nice jewelry? I love nice jewelry on a beautiful, sexy granny, too. Who would that be? That would be Queen Silvy.
Oh, man, yeah, right.
In any event, you get a hold of Foxy 5 Jewelry, Foxy, the numeral 5 Jewelry. And that's Monica Wright. You can look her up on Facebook, too, and check out some of the fashion she has. And it's all like relatively economical.
It's very affordable, very beautiful. It's all nickel and lead free. Do it for yourself or someone else. My good friend Monica Wright, look her up on Facebook or go to the website and get yourself beautified.
There you go.
Right.
And getting beautified also includes, sometimes the women like to get their hair done.
Right.
And we know a woman with over 30 years experience, Renita Easley. Look her up on Facebook also, Renita Easley. She'll give you a beautiful, elegant cut because she's been doing it and she knows what she's doing. 30 years, a long time in the business.
Hey, she knows her stuff.
But hey, it is what it is.
That's right.
And let's see, how about some shout-outs, Queen, from last week's show?
That'll do good.
Canada, the Russian Federation, China, Australia, New Zealand, the Kingdom of Tonga, Africa, Spain, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and again, the good old U.S. of A.
Shout out to you.
Shout out, thank you for tuning in.
Yes, indeed. Is there more?
No, that wraps it up.
Hey, well, you know what? Again, I'm going to continue and always thank you all for your prayers for Smooth Tim going through the better parts of coming out of chemo. Thank you for your prayers. Our hearts and prayers go out to you all over the world. If you are watching this live, know that Smooth Tim, Queen Silvy, love and appreciate you. And if you're watching this later on in the day in the archive, hey, our love is everlasting, baby. We love and appreciate you as well. That's right. Absolutely. Hey, the phone lines are open if you'd like to call in and ask our guest a question, give a shout out, or holler at Smooth and myself. The number, there it is, 817-602-0577. That's the number to the Queen Silvy Show. I thank you all. We do have shout outs. Yes, I will be giving those shout outs momentarily. You still have time to get those shout outs in wherever you are viewing the show. Simply leave it in comments. Smooth will get it to me, or go to the email queensylvy@comic.com, and I would love to get that out. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there in the world. Happy belated Mother's Day to the grandmothers. It doesn't matter. Mother's Day is every day.
Our mamas are both in heaven, and we still shout it out at Mother's Day. Thank you for a job well done.
Well, this is one of those society-made things. They said that this date is Mother's Day. Every day is Mother's Day. They say this date is Christmas. Listen, every day is Christmas. They say birthday is mine in March 3rd. No, my birthday is every day I wake up. And you should celebrate and make the best of your day. We're going to make the best of your day here on this terrific Tuesday. Before I get into my conversation with my guests, what I'd like to do at this moment is I'd like to share some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. A river cuts through a rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence. So how long will you persist in order to succeed? In my opinion, success seems to be connected with actions. And whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, guess what? Chances are you're right. So start believing in yourself and know that the harder you work for something, the greater you'll feel when you achieve it. So stop putting things off tomorrow, because the future depends on what you do today. That's right. And those are some motivational words from the Queen Silvy Show to you. Yes, I love getting up in the late night and charging up my audience, because we're fully charged today on this terrific Tuesday. And I thank you again for tuning in. You have time to spread the word around. I'm going to welcome my first guest on the show. I've been waiting to have a conversation with her. This is going to be a part 1 with her, because, we have secrets. We have some things that we're just not even going to tell you about. Oh, it's hot.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's hot.
It's going to be interesting.
So you get to know her today, get to see what type of great woman she is, strong woman she is, and check out some of her poetry, and then tune in for part 2. Ooh, I'm not going to tell you. But she's here today sharing her story of survival from an emotionally abusive 30-year marriage. She is an artist, writer, author of the book entitled Waiting to Breathe. She's a professional development director at Arkansas Community Action Agencies Association, and she's also an amazing poet here to mesmerize you with live performances from Little Rock, Arkansas. I introduce to you Dexter.
Dexter. How are you today?
Good. Thank you. So very good. Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, and I'm honored to have you on the show. Thank you for taking the time today to be on the show. You know, as a child, maybe 2 or 3 years old, you moved from Puerto Rico to Little Rock, Arkansas. Currently, you are a proud mother of 4 great grown children and 2 grandsons. That is so sweet. It's priceless. And I know this because Smooth and myself together, we have about 11 grandchildren?
Yeah, we got more on the baseball team, let's say that.
Hey, it's time to break out the band because, listen, we got something going on.
We could do an orchestra. That's a great idea, Queen.
We can do something. I'm not kidding you. So you're on to something, too. You have 2 grandsons, and I love all my grandchildren because I know their address, and I can send them back home when I'm done. That's the best part about being a grandmother. But you survived an emotionally abusive 30-year marriage. Dexter, what do you want to share? What can you share about that time of your life?
I do want to encourage women to nurture their friendships with their girlfriends and to get help. As dangerous as it might sound sometimes to go against the man and to be honest, you owe it to yourself. I look back and I can see that, yes, I could have made it even though, but it was very scary. And there are people around you who have had experience. Reach out.
Absolutely. That is true. When you said you look back and you think about, I don't know. I haven't walked those shoes, but we've all had relationships. And then when the relationship is over, you look back and go, what was I thinking? What did I see? And, it happens. Emotional abuse, by the way, is the most common type of abuse. It's usually hidden, unrecognizable, or untraceable in most cases. And when you're dealing with emotional abuse, you hear things like name calling, demeaning, or behaviors that make you feel belittled, ugly, or unwanted. You can relate to that?
Oh, yes. Well, you don't know this, but I was married to a physician, and I think it's almost inherent in that profession for so many of them to struggle with a God complex, where everything they say is law. And I don't know, you just couple that with a man raised in the South, and it was very frightening. And the Lord kept me busy, and I'm so grateful for that. I had, 3 of my children had special needs. I used all of my intellect, all of my energy in providing homeschooling for a few years, but it was a constant gaslighting. It was a constant belittling. Everything ended with I don't see MD behind your name kind of thing.
Right. Wow. Did your family and friends around you, were they aware? 30 years is a lot of, that's 3 decades of you being so strong and tolerable through all of this. Did anyone around you know? Did anyone around you, have that hint?
There were certainly people who suspected. My closest friends couldn't stand him, but they didn't come out and tell me. We had a lot of conversations after the fact, but during the event, I spent so much energy trying to protect his reputation, trying to protect my kids from him, that there weren't a lot of people that it seemed to me were seeing what was happening. And so that's something that an abuser is very good at, making you believe you're all by yourself and what you're really experiencing isn't really what's happening.
Well, depression, anxiety, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is common amongst survivors of emotional abuse. The healing process can sometimes, in some cases, be difficult, but what was it for you, Dexter, that gave you the strength to get out of that regimen and the emotional abuse?
Well, he is actually the one that left. He had been planning it for 12 years, seeing an attorney, having an affair with his nurse's daughter, and
Wow.
just yeah, he picked the point, but he threatened to kill me if I ever left for so long that um, he waited till the children were all independent enough, to do
Right.
that, and
Right.
so
He's a
I
bad
think
guy. I don't know this. I don't know him, but no, I don't want to go see him. No one should even patronize his service because he's fake. He's a lowlife.
well,
He's
well,
nothing.
he moved to a different state
Still.
where she was.
Well, still. But how did you begin to heal? Okay, he's done all of this. How did you begin to heal from that?
Are you familiar with the Enneagram?
No.
Well, I, one thing I really believe is that unless we plumb the depths of our own psyche, we're never going to be able to heal. And so, I started therapy, and well, I had been going on and off for quite a while, and was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress syndrome, and I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of looked at the therapist and thought, yeah, I don't think so. I have I had an idea that, oh, those are people who have triggers, and I don't have any triggers.
Right.
But I tell you what, during the presidential election, I realized what my trigger was, and it was
What was your trigger?
male bullies, mean men,
Mm-hmm.
and it scares me to death, and irrational anger
Mm-hmm.
and violence
Mm-hmm.
just scares me to death. And so, but the way that I handled it during the relationship was that I went out of the relationship to try and get affirmation. Um, when he belittled me because my salary was so small, I went back to school and just kept going to school. And I'm
Good for
a
you.
I'm a doctoral candidate in leadership now, and so at my friends, I just spent energy in volunteering and doing other things, and writing poetry. I'm a visual artist too, so
Good for you. Where's
that's
my
how
audience?
I was
Audience need to
able to
give her
do
some.
it.
Really, that is so great. Fill that void with all positivity and
Yeah.
creation and all those things. That is great. That is absolutely great.
I got a couple of statements and one question. I got a statement that one of the persons wrote. You're a strong blessing, and I was only able to survive 10 years of this emotional abuse.
Wow. Thank you for even saying that. That's hard for people to share information when they went through such tragedies.
And got a Becky, after the abuse, my husband was so very good at apologizing and gaining my forgiveness. I was naive, but now I'm free of it all. Well,
Wow, you can relate to that, right? Yeah, they.
Yes, yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't interrupt any questions.
No, go ahead.
Did you find the emotional abuse? Did it ever develop into physical abuse? And was there a progression to it all?
Hard
Well,
question.
yes, yeah. There were some physical altercations. He kind of struck out one time and hit me so that the back of my head hit a pole and I passed out in front of the children, and for just a few minutes. And then he said, "Oh, you slipped," and everything was. And then he tried to strangle me once and put my head in a washing machine.
He has some
And so,
serious
but he
issues.
would make me, if I went to Walmart unauthorized, I would have to kneel in front of him and beg his forgiveness, that sort of thing.
Oh my gosh, I would love to have a conversation with this guy. This.
Well,
No,
Can I make a statement too? I want to make a statement and see if you agree with this. And I think a lot of that, when it comes to abuse, whether it be emotional and or physical abuse, comes from insecurities in the aggressor. It's not necessarily anything toward the victim directly. I think that's maybe why they get apologetic. And let me expound upon where I was going with this is I was president of a youth sports league for a number of years. And I would go over and just watch the games and see what was happening. Sometimes you would see these coaches, and there were both male, female participants in this program, you know, name calling, and at times maybe you'd see them grabbing the child and or maybe smacking the child. And it, I said, I don't think that their frustrations when it comes into these type of relationships, no matter what role you're in, it's your insecurities that are screwing things up, not the victim.
Yeah, but the sad part about this to me.
So what we did is in part of our training for the coaching was to teach you positive reinforcement and get this negative out of the mouth. And it had a positive effect once we were able to implement it.
Okay, but what makes me upset is that this is a grown man who, yes, Smooth, I feel what you're saying. It stemmed even before Dexter. He may have grew up and been bullied. I don't know what the problem is, but it was so repetitious and built up into him that he's like a ticking bomb. He's like a freaking monster right now.
Well, they need to take ownership.
And he has the
one.
nerve to be trying to take care of other people's lives when he don't even know how to treat people.
Yeah, he's not taking ownership of his own problems.
Well, we're going to move on for this, but I do want to just state that I would like to get him. But
well,
he's
now wait a minute, Queen.
No, I'm just being serious. No,
my thing is, my thing is, I'm happy, I'm content,
Good.
I'm satisfied, I'm cared for. All of my children surround me. They remember, and what a blessing that is for me. To me, I have the true gift. I'm truly blessed.
Yes, you are. And men, I may be beating up on men because of that, but there are women out there that are emotional abusers. And it doesn't just be in a relationship. It can be in your job, your work, in your workforce, any and everywhere. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, all of this exists. And there are 24/7 hotlines for confidential information regarding all of those that I said, and I will provide for you that you can trust a friend or a family member. If you have a trusted family member or friend, then that's someone as an option to go to, or perhaps your church home. But if none of that exists and is available, you can go to the National Domestic Abuse Hotline, and they have a number 1-800-799-7233. And again, that's 1-800-799-7233, and the hotline is www.thehotline.org. Sometimes people don't want to talk. I mean, it's hard to get someone to come out and to talk. So if you don't want to talk, they have there's a text line available, and that's www.crisistextline.org, where you can just simply text. There's more than one way to communicate, and that is another way that is provided for you. www.victimconnect.org, it is another one to do on that. So I will just give hats off to you, because you have survived something that a lot of people, some don't. You realize that. Some can't get out of that. And so it is a blessing and opportunity and doors open to show you that, no, you are not none of that, but you are more, better, doing so much things, and I'm proud of you. My audience is proud of you too.
Well, thank you. Tim was really spot on when he talked about this creation of these people. The childhood influences, and this didn't just happen. This is something that they were trained to be. And he is on the autism spectrum. He has Asperger's syndrome, but he wouldn't admit it in public or get any therapy, even though I begged for us to have marital therapy or anything, because of the God complex. It's not me, it's you. You're setting me off, or you're whatever. And but he came from a kind of a religious denomination that is very patriarchal, and some of his favorite things to do was to attack me, like, you're not a good Christian, you're not a good mother, you're not a good wife, you're not a good you are a spendthrift, you are whatever. It was always something until he hit the nail with someone, until with somebody that would believe him.
Mm-hmm.
That so he was very destructive, and
Well,
it's very hard to deal with someone that you can't fix a relationship when it's just you wanting to work on it.
right. That's amazing. Well, we're going to move on from that. As a Christian, I pray for everyone. There's hope for everyone. I'm not going to say there's hope. There's hope. I can just pray for someone like that and just not join in with that hate, because I know that that is wrong,
Yeah.
and you are one of the survivors, and I'm honored on that. So fighting poverty across Arkansas, helping people help themselves to achieve self-sufficiency, is the ACAAA. Now that stands for the Arkansas Community Action Agency Association. Boy, do you like saying that? Yes, I work for the Community Action. There's such a great name and title on there where you work. By the way, Dexter, as the professional development director. I'm sorry. Let's break down your job,
Mhm.
what your job entails.
So we're the state association. We have member agencies in every county in the state.
Mm-hmm.
We're all nonprofit, of course, and the funding comes from the Community Services Block Grant, which is a federal, partnership, and stemmed from the Economic Opportunity Act of
As soon as we do
1964.
commercial, and
And
then
so this was
as soon
to
as we
the war
break,
on
do commercial.
poverty. And so the agencies we provide technical assistance to, support, resources, are involved in the work of eradicating poverty and all the things that go with it. So there may be an agency that is a drug rehab facility. And they do everything from a Head Start programs, the feeding, delivering meals to the elderly, finding shelter for the homeless.
Wow.
And so here in the state office, like I say, we provide the support for them. And I am growing a learning management system. So I'm kind of dean to this virtual academy, and so everything that goes with it, just helping them to help others, um, with cutting edge, knowledge, emerging leadership trends. Um, so it's a very fulfilling job to work with people who wear their hearts on their sleeves like that. Is very encouraging. What a wonderful change in
Absolutely.
environment for
You're,
me.
you you are one of the angels making a difference for a lot of people who needs that guidance, that platform, and that assistance. That's a lot of things that you guys do at the
Yeah.
ACAAA. But now, for somebody that stays and lives in the state of Arkansas, if they need assistance, how would they go about contacting someone for that?
Well, they can contact us and we can direct them to their local agencies, but it's acaaa.org.
ACAAA.org. That is very simple to remember. All right, listen, let me take a break. I have some people that has great purpose and passion that they'd like to share with you. And when we come back, we will have Dexter and her amazing poetic performances just for you right here on the Queen Silvy Show. Hi, I'm Queen Silvy of the multiple award winning The Queen Silvy Show. You want to expand and get noticed? Then come outside your box and into our world. Internet advertising has a real impact on global awareness and even sales, so let's make an impact together. Offering for a limited time advertising and sponsorship packages that excel your purpose. So contact Queen Silvy or Smooth Tim for the exciting opportunities that awaits. Yeah.
Frida's Cleaning Service is a small family-owned business established in 2003. With over 17 years of professional, high quality, and greatly satisfied service, Frida's Cleaning Service will get the job done. Specializing in sanitizing your home, business, post-construction, and commercial cleaning, no job's too big or small. See for yourself and give us a call, 567-249-9172. Frida's Cleaning Service. Our reputation is always spotless. Yes. Thank you for tuning in to the Queen Silvy Show on this terrific Tuesday. Having a great, that was really deep and serious start of a conversation with the one and only Dexter. She is a poet, author. She is an extraordinary woman. That's why it's a part 1 today, because we got some great things, and story goes beyond just today with the wonderful Dexter.
I'm enjoying this. So, Dexter, if for some reason we get kicked apart, check your email again, because we'll reinvite you back in here real quickly.
Oh, that old famous technical crap.
You know, that technical stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So listen, Dexter, you've said that since being a preschooler, you were writing poetry, right?
Yes.
Now, what kind of stuff can a preschooler write about?
Well, first, of course, I was just captivated with reading. And I think one of my favorite pictures of me when I was 4 years old was reading this big book, big picture book to my younger sister, but it was upside down. and when I was 4, I wrote on a piece of paper. Of course, I'm the eldest child, so maybe that's why I was, already kind of reading and writing. But I wrote, "I want to be a Ritter." WRITTER. And so my mother saved it and put it in my baby book. And also when I was in kindergarten, I had a list of words that rhymed. I was in the highest color coded, I think the Bluebirds, reading group, and I had this little list of words that rhymed. So in second grade, I won, I got second place in a Catholic Daughters of America poetry contest. Wow. And then in sixth grade, I won $100 and from the same organization.
Wow.
All kinds of incentives.
Of me reading my poem. Yeah, I have a picture of me reading my poem, and it was an evening. After school, we went back, and so we're not wearing our uniforms. We got to choose what we were going to wear, and my mother let me get white go-go boots. And
yeah.
The nuns were not too pleased, but, but anyway. So,
that's very memorable. But look how everything was just set for you. You were meant to be successful in all these areas, and that's pretty great. And sixth grade, $100, that's a lot of money.
I know.
That's a lot of money today.
I won't share the year.
Well, listen, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's an accomplishment, an achievement that you've made that has just set things really great for you.
Queen, one of the viewers and want to know, does she have any special time when writing works best for her?
Say that again for me.
Does she have any special times when writing works best for her?
That's for you.
I get inspired all the time. I think I just love a turn of a good phrase. Living in the South is kind of good for that too. But I get so inspired just overhearing people, and also in my garden, which I'm in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two of my biggest inspirations. Every year I go on a pilgrimage also, and that's just a lot of quiet time. And so although I do get inspired by words people say or how they say it or situation, you cannot make up this stuff. You might as well write it down, because it is way more interesting than what you think you could make up.
Dexter, Dexter, you know what's interesting is we have a lot of musicians that say the exact same thing.
Yes, they do.
They either from the stage watching the people or sitting at the bar. Yep, exactly. But they say you'd be surprised how much inspiration and how much of my music is really about what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know, yeah, I think you have to.
Uh-oh. See how they can be.
Poof. Am I on still?
Yeah,
This
we're,
is
we're on
amazing.
still. I knew they were going to play.
I have guests that is not only multi-talented, but they are like a magician. Magician, poof, they vanish right out and poof, they come right back again. I mean, this is like amazing. Queen Silvy Show has
How
it
do
like
they do that?
well, we have it like that. So you know what? While we do this again, because we are professionals, time is of essence.
Give me a moment here,
I'm going to
Queen.
give some of these shout outs, okay?
How about that? Hang on, let me get you on full video while you're beautifulness handles the business necessary.
Okay. Well, listen, some shout outs goes out to Britton Torrens out of Sydney, Australia. Shout out to Renita Easley, Willie George, Elisa Elam. Shout out to you. Edith Verhoek out of the Netherlands. Shout out to you. Smith Sketch. Hey, definitely a double shout out to these brothers. These brothers is doing some fantastic things over in United Kingdom. Log on to their YouTube page, check out their cartoons. They have two separate cartoons. One is Popcorn Family and Friends, and now the new show is entitled Hotel High. I'm honored to be cartoon figure Queen Silvy on these cartoons over in the United Kingdom. It is a great honor to me. Shout out to Jay and Liam Smith, the Smith brothers. They're doing some fantastic things. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much.
You're going to catch it on television really, really soon. I promise you that. Brian Pearson, shout out to you. Sherry Johnson, shout out to you. Shout out to Queen Pam, Queen Khaki, Queen Sonia, Queen Shanika, Queen Precious. Woo, I like that. Queen Precious. Like I am a queen and I'm precious. What? Shout out to you all. Shout out to Nicola and Bethany Jones, the Jones family. Now, that is a great dynamic singer, Bethany Jones. Look her up on YouTube, Facebook. Go get your music on. She's also on Instagram. She's an actress, Broadway star, singer. I love this girl.
Bethany, that
Bethany
was nice.
is outstanding. Shout out to you. Angela Baker out of United Kingdom. Shout out to you as well. Kim and Roger Russell. Shout out to you. Hero Boy out of Africa. Shout out to you. Johannesburg, South Africa has Websterito. Great artist. He'll be coming up shortly with a new album release, and we will have that on the show from Johannesburg, South Africa, Websterito. You can follow him on Facebook under Websterito Hostile Flow.
Shout out everybody around the world.
There's so many shout outs that has flowed in, and I appreciate you all for sending in your shout outs. And if you would like a shout out for yourself or someone special kind in your life, hey,
What do they got to do?
You can hit us up at Queens. There she is. Hit us up at queensylvia@comic.com and listen. We will get those shout outs in for you. Shout out also to Miguel Montalban. He is a phenomenal guitarist. He started out as a busker, and now he is doing so much things. You know, there's some great artists that has started out busking, and now they are making big bucks.
Name one.
Rod Stewart. Didn't think
Hush
I know.
your mouth,
That's right.
Kim.
Shut up. Alan Preston, shout out to you. Another great artist doing some great things. Mandy Story, shout out to you. Gene Hoskins, shout out to you. Shout out to you all. I appreciate you sending in your shout outs for the Queen Silvy Show to represent, and we will definitely represent very well. All right, we have that magic girl back. She just went poof.
Poof. Just
Poofed
like that.
out
Oh,
of
wait a
here.
minute. Do you see that? It happened again.
No, I'm
Yeah,
looking
watch
at
this.
it.
Poof.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. She is magical. Multi-talented as well.
Poof.
Dexter. So, Dexter, listen, tell me at what point did you really take writing serious?
When I was probably in this marriage, I got really serious, but I was always a journal writer.
Mm-hmm.
Kept diaries and journals. And when I went on a survival trip off the coast of Mexico, kayaking, I kept a travel journal. And so when I go on my pilgrimages, I write quite a bit. So when during the marriage, I wrote even more and started working for the state newspaper, writing feature stories,
Awesome.
and went everywhere, trying to shed light on a little bit like you. And you were so encouraging, but I wanted to find people who did something really great that weren't used to getting a lot of accolades,
Mm-hmm.
and but they preserved culture or that just had a story. And so really, really enjoyed that for years. But every time I succeeded at something or I got recognized, I think it made my ex-husband really angry.
Well,
So
he just need to realize that hey, you got it going on and have a lot to offer the world.
But it depends, doesn't it? Now let's look at it from kind of how she has a perspective of you and you and I, and I always believe you reap what you sow,
I
and
think so.
and I think the biggest thrill to us is once we plant this garden and we try to help people or we try to mentor people, you watch them grow. That's I don't need anything more. I have I'm satisfied.
That's right.
They bought in, they took ownership, they grabbed hold, and they did exactly what they should be doing. Maybe we gave them a kick in the butt, some words of encouragement. Who knows what it could be?
Mm-hmm. It is. Well, you keep doing all that you're doing because I'm impressed. I'm proud of you, and I'm excited to get this performance going. But poetry for many serves as a form of self-preservation. A
Yes.
way to make sense of their identity. But you tell me, Dexter, what is your purpose for your poetry?
With my poetry, I'm wanting to share pieces of myself because I believe that they can resonate with other people who either have gone through the same thing or want to develop an appreciation for something. So a lot of what I write is about poetry, but it's also about dwelling and belonging to something bigger than yourself.
That's special. A lot of people, I'm sure, can relate to it. There's all types of poetry out here. What type of poems do you enjoy writing?
The book, the my first little chat book that I put together, they just all happen to be love poems. Some of them have much to do with nature, which is very um, is usually does creep into my poetry.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they are love poems,
Well,
and
honor me if you will. I
okay,
am ready as I
oh,
present the performance by Dexter. What is this piece called?
okay. You know what? They don't have names; they just
I
have
love it.
numbers.
I love it.
I just because they're just my rumblings in my brain that are spilling out. And so I did have uh, of course, after the marriage broke up, my therapist asked me, well, are you ready for a relationship? Are you ready to open yourself up? And I said, oh, hell no. And I said it with such force that he just kind of backed away. Not 2 weeks later, it was like the heavens just opened up, and there was somebody, and I'd known this person for years, and so it was pretty amazing because my husband hadn't touched me in 12 years, and it was pretty amazing. So anyway, so this is number 8 in
Okay.
this book.
I like that concept.
Yeah, I do too.
I Why not? Number one, number two. Why? There's nothing wrong with that at
That's
all.
right. That's right.
Mine is not a victory garden. I mean, there is nothing edible unless you are counting the herbs, but the peppermint and chocolate mint tickle my hand as I pass, and the lush oregano releases a savory trail. The rosemary begs to be pinched, and I scoop up a bit of lemon balm we can brew into a fine tea this afternoon. It will go well with the sour cream pound cake in the oven. And if we are suffering, I want more of this. My handsome gardener takes my hand and walks me down the stone path and delights in the new blooms with me and shares his dream of building things and I marvel at how fascinating he is. Even now, I cannot believe I wake up to the dew and go to sleep with him wrapped around me. Make me some honey coffee and come back to bed, I want to say. We have lost time to catch up on. Let us suffer together in our newfound victory.
Oh my God. That is so nice. I don't know whether to snap or throw some dollars. That was very nice. You know, that makes me want to go try to do some poetry too. I have tried some poetry before.
I have a question for you. Now, Dexter, have you,
Yes, sir.
have you attended any poetry slams?
Well, yeah, I do poetry readings, but I have, but I've not, yeah, done the the rap type of things, and maybe I should get comfortable and try and do that.
Right.
I'm getting comfortable with a lot of things I never
Right,
thought I'd do.
give it a try.
While we were in our time in Dallas, we were privileged to see quite a few good artists, and it's not yet. And they would be at the slams, and you don't necessarily have to have rap, just a good flow, and you got a good flow, and that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, you can take it. You can take your poetry because, like, I was already
take it public. Yeah,
no,
just like
I was like, she can get really erotic.
Oh, I know who you're thinking of too.
Who?
The one that had the very erotic type. She did a lot of the poetry slams.
Yeah, I
too.
like erotic poetry too. You know,
that
like
was good.
You were getting there. You were like, ooh, what's the next verse? The next verse is gonna be even hotter. I'm like, oh, but that's very good. And then people can relate to it by not having a title. When they read it and understand it, they can create and come up with their own.
That's a great concept.
On how it means to them.
The Germans have a term. There was a time when, in abstract expressionism, when they would paint like the back of a figure overlooking this vast, the natural world, all this beauty. And I believe it was Gesfiguren or something like that, I think. And what it meant was this ability to transfer yourself into this other person, because you're not revealing the detailed face and everything. So it's almost like an invitation to experience what they're wanting.
That's interesting.
To experience.
That's interesting.
That's concept.
Yes,
concept
it is.
Yeah.
It is. So, of your writing and the writing of your poetry, is this what led you to writing the book Waiting to Breathe?
Well, there are some things in society that we should know. One is that I believe, especially for women, when we get to a certain age, we're expected to just join our throngs of girlfriends and just kind of iterate a Golden Girls existence.
Really?
And I think that's awesome. I think it's just wonderful.
Yes.
But I believe that if we go through life with our arms wide open, miracles are all around us, and we can experience things we didn't even know we could experience anymore.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Got a quick viewer question. Did you take any writing courses, or are you self-taught?
I took one poetry writing course, just to learn the formal, basics of, so that I could put myself kind of in the poet continuum. And I have taken fiction writing courses, but pretty much it comes out of my experience journaling. So
good for you. I mean, really good for you. If you don't know, you find out, and you keep going. You don't let anything stop you from doing. There's so much. Do you feel like there's just so much you have to catch up on? You know what I mean? Because you were like closed in for all those years, and now listen, sky is the limit. You can do anything. Think about that erotic poetry, by the way. You have a cute voice. I think you could just like put some into there. But with your book, Waiting to Breathe, what was the goals and the intentions for writing the book?
Intention was to have a presence in the world that people could change their idea of the vibrancy of women uh, as we age. Um, and so the purpose of the book was to lend a little encouragement for other women to rise up
Good for
and
you.
live.
Good for you. I am so appreciative to have this conversation with you. Really, I am. You're a fantastic, outstanding, strong young lady doing some great things. And you know, there's a lot of women that needs that motivation, that needs to hear just what you have to say. You know, is there an excerpt that you'd like to share from the book, Waiting to Breathe?
Yeah, I have several here. Here's a very short one. A haiku. I did not know you until buttercups laughing woke up my garden.
Wow. Oh, I love it. I do. I love this. Where can readers go to get the copy of this? This has me intrigued, and I would love to read this book.
Oh,
How many pages is in this book?
thank you. It's just 15 poems. A couple of them are several pages, but I have a Facebook page, so you can look up Dexter Rodriguez or Waiting to Breathe. That's the title of the page, Dexter Rodriguez Waiting to Breathe. Or you can even message me at my email address, which is dexterrodriguez@gmail.com. And you can use that on PayPal too. Just send me directions on where to send it.
That is outstanding. You're going places. You're
Thank
doing very many things. I don't even know if do you ever have free time to do anything else. I mean, with that, with your position with the ACAAA, that seems to engulf some time with you developing that whole thing, and then the writing and all. What are some things that Dexter like to do when she have time?
I love to garden, and I'm an excellent cook.
All right,
I'll show you my
that
some
is
roses.
beautiful.
And right next to me on this side are the elderberries.
Oh, you
They
do have a
are,
green thumb.
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Very nice indeed. Well, I will show you mines, but mines are all plastic.
I thought you
where
got
they
past
just
that in grade
last
school.
all year round. They just be right there. It doesn't matter. I don't have the green thumb like my sister and my mom does. Tim does. He has the green thumb, so I admire anybody that can do it. I will run if a bug land on me. That's how wimpy I am. But listen, is there anything that you want to add or anything you want to say before you go? I want another performance before you go, of course.
Oh, I don't know how long you've got. I'll give you another haiku, and then if you have more time, I'll do a longer one. But this one was referencing the January 6th siege on the Capitol, and it's poem number 2. Would it be a sin to cocoon with you today while the world implodes?
Hmm. Interesting.
Wow.
That is interesting. I like them short and interesting like that. You leave you thinking. You be like, yes, continue. Give me that long one.
All right, I'll give you one a little bit longer, and this is poem number 10.
Okay.
So, in this part of the country, we call these critters crawfish, but some people call them crayfish or cavefish.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our bodies tell the truth even when our minds refuse, and the cave spittle reflects who I am, same as the phantom crawfish that has no use for eyes, since all she wants is to hide into black nothingness, same as me. In my wasting away, I welcome that the world has shut down, and the skeleton of who I was hangs on, same as the crawfish with her transparent skin, since she avoids all warmth of life and sun, same as me. Calcite water drips to the cold chamber floor, and I float in my shallow puddle, same as a crawfish whose only goal is to survive. Since her time on Earth is short, same as me, without warning, I sense warmth and the color gold, and I turn to shield my dull eyes from the too bright sky, same as the crawfish whose antenna senses vibration and heat, since she lives by her instincts, same as me. How long is too long since I have felt human skin? I want to drink you up because even a minute more is too long. I knew when the scales fell from my eyes, my heart would burst, but I had to face the sun. To fall in love when my marriage and the world are falling apart is like emerging from a dark cave after floating in a seemingly endless black pool devoid of touch, and me parched for more than water.
All right. All right. Yes, Dexter. Yes, Dexter, everyone. Dexter, you know what? You really have it going on. I'm so glad. You know, writing, expressing, talking, communicating is the best way to start venting and regrouping and recreating. And you're doing it even with your job, you know, creating that job and that opportunity for other people, paying it forward, you know, inspiring with the work that you're doing. I really appreciate it. And like I said, this is part one. I'm not going to say what part two is about, but it's rated R. You must be over the 21 years old to get into this conversation we'll be having the next time with Dexter. But Dexter, listen, I appreciate you opening the can and coming on and sharing all that you shared with our global audience, and I look forward to having you back again. You know I look forward to having you back again. Oh my gosh. But I do appreciate you. I want you to go out and enjoy your terrific Tuesday. You know I'll be in touch with you, and look forward to part two with Dexter right here on the Queen Silvy Show. Thank you, Dexter.
So much.
Thank you. So I want to give a couple more of these shout outs that I have here. Donna Ferry, shout out to you. Pinky, Diane Pinky Harmon out of Beverly Hills, shout out to you. Shout out to Pat Wilhelm McGiffin, shout out to you as well. Ryan and Kelly, Joe Moss, Gabrielle Crinchlow out of New York, shout out to you. C. Shorty Franklin, shout out to you. Christopher G., my good friend. He does some great impersonations and things. You look him up, Christopher G. out of United Kingdom, doing some good things. Zeotech Emmanuel out of Africa, shout out to you. Shout out to LP Ora Smith, shout out to you. Queen Amelia, shout out to you as well. Helen Latimer out of United Kingdom, shout out to you. We have some great friends in United Kingdom.
Yes, we do.
We do. I'm very
nice
honored.
Friends all over the world.
All over the world, absolutely. Amy Kanema, if I did not mention you, I'm sorry. Shout out to Amy Kanema.
See there, I reminded you. I reminded you.
Yes, you did.
From all over, everywhere across the pond, and even
thankful.
around, even in our neighborhood, we have friends. So that tells you something about us. Our neighbors like us.
Shout out to Sabrina Williams, by the way. I forgot after you. If you need prayer and inspiration, go to her website, rollingwiththechaplain.com. That's Sabrina Williams. Yes, Sabrina Williams. That sounds familiar. Yes, she is famous.
I think it's important that you have somebody on God's side on your side also. So. And we got Lee Powell too. Oh, shout out to Lee.
Shout out to Lee Powell. Yes, absolutely. Well, we look for him in a few weeks. He'll be back on the show with some great inspirational messages through his, what do you call it? Not testimony, preaching. How would I describe that? His spin off of the book, A Purpose-Driven Life. Yeah, well, that's what we did last, and that you can find on your favorite archive.
He talked more like living your life with purpose and doing something for other people, kind of like our conversation we had today.
Absolutely.
Doing something for others, that's always very, very, very important and rewarding.
Absolutely. Listen, I thank you for taking the time to be on the Queen Silvy Show. We will be putting an announcement out in the next few days, so you will catch it wherever we will make sure you catch it, that we will be starting up next month, bringing back better than ever, Sylvia Mid. We're going to bring Sylvia Mid, the game Sylvia Mid, back where you have a chance to win some cash and prizes going up against the champ, Smooth Tim, who will be describing words, and you are too. Under a number of seconds, guess what those words are for your
Can we
chance
give them
to
an
win.
example?
You have one to give?
Okay, like let's say I got one. Yeah. Okay. An over-enthusiastic individual that has to wear their team hardware.
Well, he's coming out with a tough one on you. Don't get discouraged.
Their jackets, their hats, and wallpapers his room with the this particular sports team. What would you say that word was?
I would say that was really long. You just made some people not want to. I'm like, no, there's some easier ones.
But that's kind of...
What's the answer?
Fanatic.
All right, fanatic.
Sports fanatic, so yeah.
Okay, fanatic. I would do something like, it goes wee, wee, wee.
Door?
Sometimes.
Yeah, when I don't use WD-40 on it, it does that. I'm sorry.
I was trying to do a baby, but yeah, door
that was
too.
perfect, baby, but it sounded like our front door. That reminded me. I got a project.
Nevertheless, Sylvia Mid, we're bringing back next month, and where you have a chance to win some cash and prizes. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. And we will have the information and flyers going out for that.
We always make things exciting, Queen.
I know.
Because life is exciting with you.
True that.
Because you know what? You are simply
amazing.
Yes,
and you know what else is amazing? For you to go and sign up for the Queen Silvy Show's Friends Club. Go to queensylviacomic.com or on the webpage, The Queen Silvy Show. Fill out the form. Simply, we just want your name and your email address. And listen, you will go in for the pot every month where we give away free gifts. We love paying it forward. If you'd like to follow Queen Silvy, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Kroger's. I'm trying to get at the library here in Glass City. But we're everywhere. Smooth, what about you?
You can follow me, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the best way. And definitely follow us on the social media sites. Get on to us at our website, thequeensylvyshow.com, and drop us an email. We'll get you on the list so you know who our upcoming guests are, and also it'll automatically register you for the Friends
We tell some
Club.
things that we don't tell on the show because we can do that. But if you want to find out, you got to go on to the Queen Silvy Show Friends Club and sign yourself up for that. Hey, it's been a terrific Tuesday. Wherever you are, it's a terrific day. Make the best out of your day. For getting yourself caught up on anything with the Queen Silvy Show as well as current, I asked for you to go to the YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Queen Silvy Show. I'd gladly appreciate that. And until next time.
Same Queen time, same Queen station, I suppose.
That's right.
We'll holla.